Hi, I'm Emily Burke with Spark Paranormal Group. The rest of the Spark team and myself are all experienced paranormal investigators. Many of us have abilities to communicate with the other side. Today we are going to explore Leonardtown's most haunted locations. Let's jump right in with what is possibly Leonardtown's most famous legend, Mole Dyer. Before we start, it is important to note that we have many different tools we use when investigating the paranormal. What you see here is a ghost box. A ghost box is a radio that scans different channels and allows spirits to communicate through it. We use a method called the double-blind ghost box, which entails the wearer having noise-canceling headphones on turned all the way up and their eyes shielded. When you hear me talk about evidence we got using the ghost box, I'm always talking about us using this method. Things don't get much scarier than witches and curses. With the Mole Dyer legend, that is exactly what you get. In 17th century Leonardtown, there was said to live a woman named Mary Dyer, who went by the nickname Mole. Mole lived on the outskirts of town in a hut by the creek. Her use of herbs and secluded way of life got her branded a witch. In 1697, the townspeople ran her out of her house, burning it down, and chased her through the woods. When they found her body, she was frozen to a rock. This rock was found in 1972 and is said to have her frozen handprint engraved on it. It is also said that if you touch the Mole Dyer rock, you will be cursed by her. Many who visit the rock say that they feel very creepy, or they get an ominous feeling or a feeling that they're being watched, and many people refuse to touch it for fear of the curse. Some people actually say that they're seeing a woman that they believe is an apparition of Mole Dyer. One of our team members, Shannon Burke, who is an empath, has experienced seeing her firsthand while driving down Point Lookout Road. While driving on a cold night, she said that she saw a woman walking on the side of the road. She thought it was a real person at first, but as she slowed down and drove past, when she looked in her side view mirror, there was no one there anymore. A few nights later, she was driving the same route, and on her way back home, she saw the same thing, except this time she knew that it was just an apparition. Based on the way she looked and the general feeling that she got and where she was, Shannon believes that this was in fact Mole Dyer. The old jail was built in 1876 and used until 1945 by the oldest sheriff's office in the nation. The old jail has 2 floors. Downstairs was the jailkeeper's quarters, and upstairs were the cells, where prisoners were segregated by gender and race. Out front of the old jailhouse is where we had the scariest encounter we've had while investigating Leonardtown. One of the people we had with us this particular night began to feel restriction around their neck and felt like they were having trouble breathing and like they were possibly being choked. At the same time, I started to sense a very tall, young African-American male. At the same time, also, the person on the ghost box, using the double-blind method, of course, they started to use words like murder and beat and anger and aggression. As the atmosphere got more and more uncomfortable, we tried to uncover what was going on. A few minutes earlier on the ghost box, closer over to the Mole Dyer rock, someone kept repeating the name Ben, which was also a name I had gotten while I was functioning as medium for our group. I then started to hear an H.A., and I believed it had to do with the last name, as well as someone else who's a sensitive in our group. From then, the person who had all of the research, because of course I went in knowing nothing, as did the other sensitives, the person who had all of the research started to tell us the story of Benjamin Hance. In 1887, Benjamin Hance was accused of attempted assault on a white woman named Alice Bailey. Benjamin was a Catholic African-American who was working on an oyster boat at the time. After the accusations, he was arrested and taken to jail. On June 17th, a group of men stormed the jail, forcing the jailer out of the way and kidnapping Hance. No trial, no due process. They took Hance to a witch hazel tree on the outskirts of town and beat him and lynched him. Benjamin's lynching is the only documented one in St. Mary's history. It is said that he was buried in an unmarked grave close to St. Aloysius' church. Benjamin's story is important and relevant to tell, and our hope when we do these investigations is that we can tell someone's story and hopefully offer them some peace. When speaking to Benjamin, when functioning as medium, it was very clear that he was adamant about his innocence, and I feel that that is very, very important to share. Aside from that, it was obviously very scary for many members of the group to experience, physical discomfort, to feel a very intense atmosphere, to feel very afraid. This is hands down the most intense experience that we had while investigating at Leonardtown. Tudor Hall is an extremely incredible location because there is such a great deal of layered history. Tudor Hall, also known as Mattingly Farm, was built in 1744 by the Barnes family, making it the oldest building in Leonardtown. In 1817, the building was sold to Henry Key, the cousin of Francis Scott Key. It is said that George Washington had visited the building. Because of Tudor's Hall great deal of layered history, there are so many experiences to be had there. I have never once been in the building or on the property without sensing multiple energies at once, and I know people who have walked through the building who have felt negative energy in the basement and the attic area. There is also some positive energy there, as myself and others have felt greeted by an older woman through the front doors. No matter what you encounter, you're unlikely to leave Tudor Hall without some kind of paranormal experience. And even if you don't see them, there are so many there that they will definitely be watching you. While none of us know exactly where the paths we choose to take will lead us, we can be sure of one thing, that everything we touch we will leave our mark on in some way. When we do paranormal investigation, this is exactly what we're picking up on, the marks that people have left behind or the places that they've chosen to stay. We hope that we tell these people's stories with justice, as we are grateful to be able to communicate with them. We hope to be doing more things in Leonardtown and uncovering more and more of Leonardtown's haunted history. The good, the scary, and everything in between, whatever we can do to help further tell the story of the great city of Leonardtown from the unique paranormal perspective. We hope to be doing more things in Leonardtown in the future, and we hope to be doing things that we can invite you all to join us for. So please look forward to that. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media and check out our website to keep up to date on all of the things that we'll be planning in the future and to learn more about us and what we do. And thank you again to the City of Leonardtown for having us to this wonderful event. Happy Halloween, everyone.